What's up YouTube, my name is Mateo, I'm a cinematographer, and these are a couple things I can't live without when I'm on set. First item that I can't live without is a plain simple notebook. Might seem like just something very basic, but for me, it's been very game changing because when I'm in a tech scout with the producer, with a gaffer, with a key grip, and we're just looking at a location and we're trying to figure out how we're gonna solve certain problems when it comes to rigging lights, rigging cameras, I can just immediately open up my notebook and start writing notes about what kind of diffusers we want to use, what kind of lighting we want to use that we already have on the gear list that has been approved by the producer, and then I'll just start drawing like a simple lighting diagram right there on the spot with them, rather than having to like go home after the tech scout, open up a lighting diagram and go on Photoshop or Scenario app. My next essential, as you can see, are monitors. I have a wireless monitor right here, or also known as a director's monitor, and then in here I have my onboard monitor. Having your own monitor that you can dedicate to every single shoot, so you consistently can look at the image exactly from that same monitor, because most of the times when you travel, you go to a rental house and they give you their monitors, their calibration is going to be off. You're going to look at the image a little bit differently as far as the contrast levels, the shadows, the brightness. So for me, I really make it a point to travel with my monitors. I don't give it to a director even though it's a director's monitor. I actually use it to collaborate with the gaffer so they can have their own freehand monitor. They can go around while we're setting up the first shot or just changing lighting depending on the scene. And for me, I always have my own monitor on board because it has my own custom LUTs that I just have used consistently, so I can accurately, for my eye and how I expose, get a consistent image every single time. And then these same LUTs, I will usually pass them to a colorist or an editor so they are working with exactly how I expose the image. Next on the list, probably my most underrated essential that I just decided to invest in and bring on every set, and that's just my own set of filters. A Rotopola, probably the most essential filter that I have and I always use on almost every single shoot. You just can always use it in so many different ways, whether you're just rotating the Pola to take a little bit of sheen off of a skin from a highlight, or you're shooting in a car and you want to just remove a little bit of the reflection, you're shooting through windows and you want to cut the reflection. There's so many times the Rotopola is just going to save you. And this little pouch as well, I keep my other filters in here that I always use. So I have a 0.3 ND, always need a 0.3 ND, especially on cinema cameras that adjust and stop. So like in my RE Mini, it goes from 0.6 to 1.2 to 2.1. And then I keep some extra prism filters for music videos or just like cool unique shots that maybe we come up with. I'd rather just keep them with me at all times. Next essential is not this pouch, it's what's inside of it. And it is my handy dandy light meter. It's a Conic 858D. I can't say that I use this all the time, but I always try to keep it with me because as I'm trying to be more consistent on every scene to scene, the more I'm shooting and the deeper I get into my career, I definitely have been trying to use this more often so I can like really get an accurate reading on how we're lighting each the key to fill ratio. This is just something that in practice it's the old school way, but even though we have false color and different monitoring tools, this is something that you still see the old school gaffers always bring out. And so for me, I just want to be able to speak the same language and get better and better results, more consistent results. And a little bonus that I have in here in this little pouch is this thing, which again, I don't use all the time whatsoever, but what's cool about this is it's a gaffer's glass. So I can just use it like this and get an idea of where the hot light is, and if we need to pan it, if we need to tilt it to just get that exact little, light to hit where you want it. If you want to flare, or if you just want to hit a little bit of the skin, sometimes you can just bring this out and get an idea where the light is, so you can tell your gaffer like, hey, just pan it left, pan it right. My next essential is this little SSD paired with my iPhone. The new iPhones, one, have OpenGate, which is crazy, but then with the Blackmagic app, you can shoot log, you can shoot ProRes, you can shoot OpenGate, you can shoot ProRes RAW. You have all the custom monitoring tools, you can control ISO, everything, right? So this has become such a handy tool on set, and believe it or not, I've done it so many times where it's just a quick little product shot or insert for a scene that we might not have time to rig up the cameras. because we're moving them on to the next scene, and I'll just grab it really quickly with my iPhone. And since you're shooting log, now the color has a lot more flexibility. My second essential app is CAD Rage. So CAD Rage just allows you to get an accurate kind of look at what your framing is going to be with the sensor of your camera, the lenses you're pairing it with, and the aspect ratio you're shooting. You can input all that into CAD Rage, and you can, instead of having the AC lift up every single time the tripod or lower, and quickly just go back and monitor where you want to place the camera, how high, what focal length, so you can set up your next shot while the AC starts prepping the next lens. And also Sunseeker, very essential app that everyone uses on location scouts, on tech scouts. You can get an idea, especially when you're doing exteriors and you're working with natural light and you're bouncing light from the sun. You can just want to be able to map the sun to figure out at what time is it going to be in the ideal spot for you to be able to bounce from the sun side, and not try to do like a sun sandwich, and just get an idea of where you're going to be backlit. So Sunseeker, CAD Rage, and Blackmagic. Next essential is this right here. This pairing is the Aputure MC Pro, specifically with the little bubble diffuser. Now you can just have a regular MC, which is totally fine, but the MC Pro specifically has this diffuser, which is just perfect for a nice round catch light or an eye light if you're really close on someone's face and you want to just give them a little bit of glimmer in their eye. And there's so many other practical use cases for MC. Nice small light is sometimes very overlooked. Everyone's thinking about the big lights, the softboxes, the big frames, but those small lights are really what just gives you that salt and pepper into the scene. And so on MC Pro, I always keep it in my camera bag. Next essential is my AKS case, all kinds of shit. It's a Pelican 1510, but inside is what really matters. So in here I just have all kinds of shit, things that I always need on set. And for me, really, this is to make my first AC's life a little bit more easy. Specifically, I have these small bags that I use to organize all the little bits and bobs. This one is just for all types of rigging, all types of little clamps and monitor arms and spigots, 15mm rod stuff, just again, anything we can use to rig something to the camera. This one right here is just all types of cables, so SDI cables, HDMI cables, power cables, whatever you can think of. I have dummy batteries in here. Again, just to make the AC's life a little bit easier in case it forgot something or it breaks. I have some type of backup for the basic needs that we will need to get through the day. Power splitters, yeah, just redundancy. Again, there's like 3 or 4 of each kind of cable in this little bag. And then right here, this is the most slept on one, and for me it's just about like being clean and hygienic and motherfuckers not smelling bad on set. I got like dude wipes, I got little Downy spray if you got a little stain in your shirt, you want to fix that, shout wipes. I have little mouthwash packets, you know what I'm saying, if your breath's stinking, I got you. I got little Advil pills, you got a little headache on set. Just a little feel-good bag, right? For a specific rig, I always keep a clamp, and then I always keep a backup of monitor arms. So these are the iFootage spider arms, and I have 2 in here. So even though I always have one in my camera bag, I have backups in case mine breaks or we need it to rig, again, the eyelight. Winding down the list, this is a doctor bag. Again, this is kind of to make my first AC's life a little bit easier, where I can just bring the camera fully built. For the most part, I'll have all the essential things that we need to get the rig started. You just want efficiency on set, and that way they can just worry about other specific things that we need to worry about throughout the day. So the last thing I want them to do is have to build a camera from scratch. In the doctor bag, I have another small organization bag. So this is dedicated to the RE, and this is the ACAM bag. I have, you know, a card reader. I have the other CFast cards in here. I have little audio cables. So anything that the camera might need that's essential, it's right here, easy for the AC to grab and rig to the camera. Boom, ready to go out of the set. For my last essential, I have a pair of shoes that I could change into once the day is done. I've been trying to convince all my friends, all my crew members that I work with to do the same thing that I started doing about a year or 2 ago. I have very flat feet, so at the end of the day, my feet are just cooked. I'm very exhausted. And there's nothing better than getting into a pair of shoes that are designed for recovery. So these are like, I think they're called cane shoes. Yeah. But like Hoka recovery slides are amazing as well. If you're shooting all day inside of a soundstage, or you're filming in exteriors on concrete, holding these heavy camera rigs that's putting a lot of weight on your body as well, your feet are going to be cooked by the end of the day. So having just a fresh pair of shoes you can slip into and drive off into the sunset is really underrated. Let's get into some quick bonus items, things that I do actually always carry with me, but I think the first 10 that I mentioned were a little bit more important. I have a little multi-tool. Obviously, what can we say about this is something you always need to rig things onto your camera, to unscrew things. I like it because it has a little button right here where I can just press it, and all these little different drivers stay into place, unlike other ones where after time of use they get a little loose. I have a laser pointer right here. This is the next little handy dandy essential that I always keep with me. If I'm on tech scouts on the day of set, I can kind of point to a key grip or to the gaffer. It's just a quick way of like showing them where I'm actually trying to do a specific thing. So if I need to pan a light, or if I just need to add a little bit of pop of light here in this little corner of the background, I use a laser pointer all the time. You always need a tripod plate, and I can't tell you how many times I've shown it to set and I maybe forgot my tripod plate, or I just can't find it. So I have bought like 4 or 5 of these. I have them in every single bag that I kind of use. A quick little essential is this SSD, or SSDs in general. I know they're very expensive right now, so I'm glad I have years of ton of SSDs that I've accumulated over the years. I don't have to buy new ones, but these always save the day. Sometimes the producer forgets to buy a spare SSD for the backup. Usually you want 2 backups once the set is done. I think this is essential for is that sometimes the editor or the director don't pick the best takes that maybe we would have gotten on the day, and I have a clear understanding of, no, I think that one daily was a bit better and might work better in the edit, and I can just go grab it and tell them which daily it is. Another quick essential right here, spider arms, or how Bruno called them, monkey arms. I think there's a lot of different names for these, honestly, but these are from Shape. Again, kind of expensive, but they're extremely well made. I've had these for years and they still work just fine. And what I love about them is this quick release button right here that allows me to, on the fly, adjust the positioning of the spider arm, so that way my hand and my wrist always stay neutral. So if I'm in a certain position, I can always keep my hand in the right position. I don't want to be putting a lot of strain into my wrist. Another quick essential right here is a speaker. Can't tell you how many times you're in a sound stage. It's this huge blank space and you're working your own little silos, building the camera, G&E team is building lights, and then art is doing their thing. Sometimes all you need is a little bit of live music to get the mood going. And obviously if you're shooting music videos, like how many times can they not have a damn speaker on set? So this always comes in clutch. And then last little essential is these bags that I keep referencing in some of these other essentials. These are from actually a gaffer homie who makes these. It's from filmswagstore.com. I have a link in the description where you can get a discount on these. Way cheaper than the cord bags, but I just have a ton of these, like I don't know, 10 or 20 of these for every single type of configuration. So this is, for example, my B-cam bag, where I keep everything for my B-cam. This is my FX3 bag, so I have all the essential accessories that I would need for my FX3. And as you can see, I have another tripod plate, so I wasn't lying that I have a bunch of these. So that way the AC can just quickly grab the B-cam bag that I direct them to go grab, and they don't have to search through the AKS cases or anything. They can just easily know B-cam bag has everything that my B-cam is gonna need to rig it or to configure it. So these little bags are very essential.